All right, welcome back to another Zero Downtime podcast. How you doing today, Logan?
Doing well.
All right. You ready for an exciting show today?
It's exciting. I am excited.
Yeah, all right. So on today's show, we're going to talk about T-Mobile is going to tighten their device promos, and I think this is interesting. It's kind of a whole shift in the T-Mobile model, so that's kind of fun to talk about. A little off tech, but still something that's relevant to everybody.
Yep.
Steam on Linux surpasses 5% of the installs of Steam. This year could be the year of the Linux desktop. Microsoft Copilot isn't really AI. We'll talk about that. LinkedIn is spying on you. I mean, no one should be surprised there, but the way that they're spying on you is pretty awesome. And there's iPhones in space. Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, I think it is too. But first, the meme of the day. Since we're talking about space, I thought it'd be relevant to put that picture of the galaxy, and then there's an arrow pointing down to Earth, and it says, "You are here, crying in the shower before work." All right. So what'd you do last week? Anything fun?
Celebrated Easter just with family.
Okay. I went to the concealed carry class in
That's right.
in Astoria.
How was that?
I passed.
Bonus.
So yeah, so in Iowa, we don't have to actually have a concealed carry permit anymore. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I only know it because you just told me that the other day.
Okay. So you don't have to have that, but in order to get your Minnesota permit, which we live pretty close to Minnesota, so it makes sense for us to have a carry permit, that we have to have a training certificate. And so the Peterson Firearms, firearms instruction, something like that, PFI. They can do the class correctly, so we can get our Minnesota. But to do that, you have to qualify. So that means you actually have to shoot at the range. So, and it's not hard. It's 3, 5, and 7 yards.
Okay.
You have to get 17 shots in the lines. So it's not hard. My wife went too, and I've got a little Ruger 2245 that she shoots, and she did well. She passed.
Did she pass as well?
Oh yeah. Then it's not her first time taking the course, so she's done that before. So, anyways, that was fun. I spent a lot of time in Claude Code over the last week since we talked about it briefly on the last episode.
Yep.
And I have this thing that I created called JTunes. I know, real creative. What it is it's written in Flutter, like Flutter, right? But
yep.
it's actually a for Linux, but it emulates iTunes. So when I want to, I like my old school iPod, right?
Yep.
And I want to be able to sync my music to my old school iPod and my videos too. And all the utilities for Linux are really clunky. And in fact, most of them aren't supported anymore. So I resurrected this library called libgpod, right? And it's an old school library that's made to communicate with the old iPhone. And I leveraged that inside of JTunes. So check it out. That's on GitHub. I did my first release last night. And then I found this one interesting yesterday. Yesterday, that they're going to start ripping i486 CPUs out of Linux.
Oh,
so you won't be able to run Linux on 486 machines anymore.
Are you okay with this?
It's a sad day.
I'm like, you usually don't like when people have to upgrade equipment to run something.
Well, I mean, a 486 is a pretty old CPU. I mean, that's what we were using 486s in the 90s.
All right.
So I'm sure, it's one of those things where that it's becoming more work than benefit. So they rip it out rather than try to support it with all the new CPUs and everything else. All right. So T-Mobile is, you didn't have anything else, did you?
I didn't.
Okay. All right. So T-Mobile's tightening device promos. So let's talk about something. It kind of looks small on the surface, but in reality, it's a pretty big shift for this company. T-Mobile was once known as the Un-carrier, and they called themselves that because they did things different than the big guys, right? And some of those things that they did were like you could upgrade all the phones in your plan all at once, and they would all get the same promo, right?
Oh, okay.
So they changed that now, and now the promo is you can upgrade 2 phones at a time. So if you're a family of 4 and you all want to upgrade together, you have to pay full price for the last 2.
Okay. Is that more similar to like what Verizon is?
Yeah, exactly. It seems to me that they're kind of switching from growing to profit.
Oh,
So we also call that a bait and switch.
yep. Here's come for all these wonderful things.
Yep.
All right, we don't have that
Now,
anymore.
porting your number isn't really that big a deal. It's a pain, because they don't do it instant. Number doesn't port instantly. So like if you're unhappy with your carrier, you usually got to wait 3 to 7 days to move your number between one phone provider to another.
Okay.
So you may have to carry 2 phones at once, and that sucks.
I mean, I have not switched phone carriers,
And that's the point.
like ever.
Then that's the point. T-Mobile knows that even if they lose some, it won't be very many because nobody wants to go through the hassle of switching providers.
I think the only way I would do it is if you truly didn't have service in the area and the other one did.
Well, I mean, what if the other one's saving you $50 a month?
I would have to go price that out.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you don't. I mean, because you've been with the Verizon for so long. We were with, obviously our company's paid for Verizon for forever.
Yeah.
And so, and they used to pay, another company used to pay for my wife's phone. And so we actually had to go out and get a plan. So she's had a plan now for, I don't know. Well, Ethan had a plan actually before anybody else. So we got Ethan a phone while her phone was still being paid for. So he was the longest one with the plan. I don't remember when he got it, maybe when he was, I don't know, 12 or 13. Our kids got him a little bit younger because we live on the farm.
Yep.
And there's no neighbor to run to if there's a problem.
Yep.
So anyways, we went in to get Kristen a plan. And I think that's when Ethan was maybe 17. So that was 5 years with the plan. And the amount of money that we saved going in was crazy. So like we went in to talk about different plans, new plans, whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, you could save, I think we saved like $120 a month or something. It was ridiculous. So
just for having like Kristen and Ethan on the same.
no, just switching Ethan's.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you haven't gone into the wireless provider, you should, because I'll bet you're going to save a bunch of money.
I haven't. And when I add a line, I just add it online and
Yeah.
put a phone together.
I'm telling you, go in or even call Verizon, because I'm assuming that's who you have.
Yeah, it is.
Go in or call, and I'll bet you'll find that you can save a whole bunch of money.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, you should, because
Then we can report back.
Yeah, do that and report back. Also, what T-Mobile's doing is with the deals used to be red hot. So it was like they had $1,300 off the new iPhone. So basically get the iPhone for free.
Yep.
They're gonna tighten the screws up on that a little bit, and it's gonna be closer to maybe $800 off, which won't be good for your fold. That's gonna cost $2,000. So yeah, I mean, for years, T-Mobile was kind of like the market disruptor. Free line. So like you'd go get a phone and they'd throw in another line for free.
Yeah.
Right. They really grew fast.
Well, they even marketed it very heavily.
Mhm.
Like you always saw the commercials.
Always. Even when we didn't have T-Mobile in town,
Correct.
we still saw the commercials of all the stuff we couldn't have. I have T-Mobile service on my laptop
Okay.
because I scrounged around. I don't remember the subreddit, but I found a subreddit that was like, you can get 30 gigs of data for $10 a month.
Really?
Yeah. And so like I went into the store here in town, and the people had never heard of that. I gave them like, I don't remember, it was like the page number and the reference code, and they could look that up, and they're like, oh yeah, here it is, $10 a month for a SIM card with 30 gigs of data, 5G.
Could you put that into a phone?
Well, no, it's not made for phones.
Oh, it wasn't made
No,
for phone.
it's-
Okay.
It's a data only SIM.
Oh, okay.
And I'll admit, it's a little spotty. I had to use it the other day in Sioux Falls, and it worked great there. But on the way to Sioux Falls, it was spotty,
Okay.
right? I think the 5G is just
Do you ever hotspot your phone?
I do. I always think that when I'm talking on my phone and it's hotspotted at the same time, that it's slower. So if I'm on a phone call and I'm hotspotted, it's considerably slower.
I would agree.
So that was the thoughts in my mind of why having the SIM card was better.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we've kind of said it already, but T-Mobile is becoming Verizon in all reality. So they're going to have fewer promos, more restrictions, less stacking, and more fine print. And in fact, the fine print is you used to be able to go into T-Mobile and get a contract-free phone, right? They'd give you a good promo and contract-free phone. Now they're locking people into 36-month contracts. So, I mean, that's not just one change. That's like a complete strategy shift in their whole company.
They have to be just obviously going for profit.
Yeah. And as we mentioned before, the people that are going to be hit the hardest on this are families. But in reality, who upgrades all the phones in the house at the same time?
I mean, maybe you do. I don't know how you do it for your kids, but like when Darce or I get a new phone, the kids just get our old ones.
Yeah. So, we didn't have quite that luxury because we have more kids than adults.
You do.
So, sounds like a mutiny's afoot. So Emily, we got her an iPhone SE or something, the smaller one.
Yeah.
And then Oliver got Kristen got a new one, and Ethan got a new one since mine is on my company account.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm not part of that crew, but now I sound like I'm left out. Mutiny afoot, and I'm left out.
You poor thing.
So yeah, I think in the long run, this is going to be a little bit more risky for T-Mobile than it is for Verizon, right? Because Verizon's already weathered that storm of going from cheap phones, cheap rates to where they are now, where it's more strict, less incentives, all of that kind of thing.
People just understand what they have.
And probably one of those things where they're going to they're going to lose footprint, but there's going to be another company that's going to come in, another budget friendly company. I mean, I think Mint Mobile or something, which I believe uses T-Mobile. They charge $12 a month or something for a phone. It's ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
I found there was another place I use, super ghetto phone company, Unreal Mobile. I was testing out different SIMs. There's another free one I used for a while. It was starts with an H. Can't remember, but it's 100% free cell phone service and data.
How's that company make money? On the device?
Well, you know what I say. I didn't buy a device from them.
Oh, okay.
You know what I say. If the service is free, you're the product.
I mean, somehow they are getting something.
Yeah, no, Helium Mobile. That's what it is.
Okay.
Helium Mobile is the one I used for a while. That was free. For some reason, I lost it. I don't know why. I don't think I was on it enough because it's on my second phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, what is your second phone carrier?
It was Helium for a while.
Okay.
Unreal Mobile for a while because Unreal Mobile, it's like if you pay for a year up front, it's like $120 for a year of service.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I'm just going to do that because then I don't have to have another bill every month.
Correct.
And it's only $120. So for my test phone or my secondary phone, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Verizon and T-Mobile that those other like budget carriers don't have, when we travel overseas, our phones just work.
Correct.
And, Verizon charges $10 to $12 a day. It's not cheap,
Yep.
but those budget carriers more than likely don't have the ability to travel overseas, or they get ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
If you do travel overseas.
When you travel over, do you just get a different SIM though?
Sometimes. The last few times I haven't. So
Okay.
the times that I do, it's only because I want to use WhatsApp, since everybody in foreign countries use WhatsApp. When I travel to that country and say I want to hire a driver, they'll a lot of times communicate on WhatsApp, and I don't want to give them my US number. I'd rather have in El Salvador, I got a SIM card, for example,
Yep.
when we hired a driver to take us somewhere, and we communicated over WhatsApp, and I use that number. So that way, when I leave the country, I just throw the
SIM.
throw the SIM away. The number's gone. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Makes sense.
Because I have been molested by foreigners if I've given them my information.
Unresistible.
Well, I've told you about it, but I'll tell the listeners.
I was like, you might as well share.
I was in Colombia with Oliver, and we had a condo on the beach, and we were looking for something for lunch. And Oliver only stayed with me for about a week, and I stayed for about a month. And I didn't like Colombia. Let's just be clear on that. I did not like Colombia. It was not my cup of tea. Anyways, we want to find a restaurant. We want to find a fish restaurant. We're on the ocean. Let's find a fish restaurant. So we find this one. It's like 5 stars. Sweet, right? So we start walking down, and it's not high season. it's low season, so everybody's desperate for foreigners' money, right?
Yep.
And we walked probably a mile and a half or something on the beach. It was a nice walk, but we finally get to the place and we look in. It was like run down, and I'm like, yeah, Oliver, I don't know about this. And somebody comes out and he goes, oh, hey, this is my aunt's place. You want to come and have fish? I'm like, well, I'm here. I might as well. So we go in, and we're the only ones there. He takes us up to the second story so we can see the beach and the water. It was outside, inside, right?
Yep.
Okay. And order our fish. Pretty soon he sits down. He's from Aruba, he says. And he sits down and he's just chatting with us, and it's fine. And he's like, let me show you my town. I'm like, okay, let's see your town. And he takes us to the parts of this town that I would never go, right? And then all of a sudden we're stopping at this lady's house. She's a singer. And I'm like, I got to get away from this guy. I am going to get murdered in Colombia.
With your son.
With my son. And so finally we start kind of perusing back to the condo. Now, the nice thing about the condo is he wouldn't have been able to come in because he didn't have a wristband. Colombia is like really specific about that because of human trafficking stuff.
Okay.
You know, to make the story better.
Yes.
So anyways, I give this guy, he knows my name, and I gave him my WhatsApp, which was just my phone number. And he was like, hey, if you need anything, just let me know. Don't even bother calling a driver if you want to place a food order and have it brought to you. Don't even bother. Just reach out to me. And I'm like, I am never going to talk to you again. This is like the freakiest thing I've ever done. And he continually harassed me on Facebook. I finally deleted him the other day. Like, he found me on Facebook and he harassed me on Facebook.
He just wanted to be a friend.
Oh. My friend from Peru said he's my bicharon. And if you speak Spanish, I know I probably butchered that, but you know what it is. All right. Steam on Linux surpasses 5% of the market share in the latest survey update. All right. This might not seem that big. 5% is pretty little, but it actually is big. So Linux just crossed the 5% share on Steam for the first time ever. Now, I know what you're thinking, Logan. 5%, who cares? But hold on with me and understand like how big this is. Linux gaming for years has sucked. It's just been awful. And it was niche, and like you could tinker to get the games to work with Wine. Wine is not an emulator. And you could tinker, but then like, oh no, this anti-cheat DLL doesn't work. And so it kicks you out of the game, so you couldn't play it. So you spent all this time to get the game to run, and then you couldn't actually play it, right? So 5.3% is what the number is of Steam users have installed it on Linux.
Okay.
That's a number that you can't ignore anymore. It actually surpassed Apple. So more Steam users have installed it on Linux than on Mac.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is you can't ignore that number anymore. And it's not because people installed their gaming rigs on like Ubuntu or Debian or Arch, right? No, it has completely to do with SteamOS and Steam Deck. So SteamOS and Steam Deck made by Valve, right? And they also invented what we've talked about before, Proton.
Okay.
Proton is a way to run Windows games on Linux, and it works really good. And it works with all the best titles. It's plug and play, no tweaking. And it was something that like couldn't have happened 5 to 10 years ago. Like it just wouldn't work. So 5%, in my opinion, isn't just a stat, it's a threshold. We've officially crossed the threshold of when the developers start thinking about Linux as a real opportunity. Right? You don't think so?
I'm sure it is. You just love Linux so much. So it's so fun to see you get so excited.
But we've talked about Adobe before, and they're like not wanting to put their flagship products on Linux. Maybe it's something where they see that, holy cow, 5% of the people are gaming on Linux now or with Steam, and maybe we should start thinking about putting Adobe on Linux.
Yeah.
Right? It's a real thing. So the developers are gonna start asking themselves, should we officially support Linux? Right? So we support Windows, we support Mac. Should we support Linux too? Now that 5% of the people are installing it on there. Are we sure that our anti-cheat technology will work on Linux? They're going to have to ask themselves that, right? Yeah.
Is there more? I mean, obviously, you just talked about like the Mac and Windows, Linux. Is there any other operating systems that you feel like they would ever have to worry? I shouldn't say worry about or consider.
Temple OS. I know you don't know what that is.
I have no clue what that
There
is.
was this guy, he sadly committed suicide. He was a schizophrenic. I think his name was Terry. Can't remember. Anyways, he said that if you hear the whole story of this guy, like you would think it's like, you'd obviously know he was crazy, but like you would see how, I'm not schizophrenic, but him and I have a lot of things in common.
Okay.
So he created this OS called Temple OS, and it was ordained by God, the operating system.
Okay.
And God had certain rules for this OS. It would only run at 640 by 480. So that's the only support he would build into it. Like this guy was crazy, but crazy smart too. Like he was, when I met, he was like me. I build the rules, and those are the only rules.
I would say that's your type of operating system, but you wouldn't want to follow someone else's rules.
Oh no, God didn't allow network cards, so you couldn't get on the internet with Temple OS anyways. So yeah, let's be real though. Linux gaming isn't mainstream yet. You're still gonna have like random launcher issues. You're still gonna have problems with anti-cheat, weird edge case bugs. You're not putting a Linux computer in front of grandma and letting her play Counter-Strike. Actually, Counter-Strike works really well on Linux. That's like the only game I've ever bought in the Steam store. And I'm sure you probably know this, but I have a computer that usually stays on the kitchen counter, the bar counter.
Yes.
And I haven't for a long time. And I decided now's the time to get back into the bar computer.
Has your wife missed the bar computer, or has she been okay with it being MIA?
I'm pretty sure she actually said something along the lines of, "Boy, I've sure missed having a counter computer." But I decided I was going to install Steam on it, and I was downloading a game, and of course Oliver caught me downloading this game. He goes, "Oh, you're downloading Counter-Strike, Dad?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and see how it says like last played 3 years ago, and that was probably for 15 minutes. My children make fun of me all the time. This weekend I made these things called chicken bombs.
What's a chicken bomb?
All right. So just to put it in perspective, Saturday nights are my night to cook.
Okay.
The concealed carry class took too long. So I ended up making steak on Saturday, but I really wanted to make chicken bombs. And so I looked at what Kristen was going to make on Sunday, and I said, you know what? I'll make the chicken bombs on Sunday because they take like 2 hours on the smoker.
Okay.
So it's thighs that are cut up so there's no bones in them, and you take Philly cream cheese. I used diced jalapenos, pre-diced jalapenos.
Okay.
And cheddar cheese, and you put it inside the chicken, and then you roll it, and then you wrap that in bacon.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it was delicious. Some recipes call for you to take a whole jalapeno and stick it in there.
Okay.
I preferred the Philly cream cheese soup, basically.
Yeah.
I also found out our microwave has a cream cheese soften button.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many seconds is that?
Well, you have to put it in by ounces.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
And it works.
It worked well.
I didn't know that was a thing.
So did the family enjoy
Yeah.
the chicken bombs?
So I think we did 2 packages worth, and I want to say it probably made 10 or 12 of them total. And there was one left.
Wow.
So that's a success.
Sounds like you did good.
Yeah. All right. So here's the bigger picture, though. Valve is doing something very strategic. They're building a world where developers target Steam, not the operating system.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And if that works, Windows stops being required.
This is like your favorite statement you're going to make all day.
So 5% might sound small, right? But in context of Linux gaming, it's one of the biggest milestones we've seen. And if this trend continues, we might finally enter an era where Linux gaming isn't a workaround. It's just gaming.
Yes.
All right. I found this one yesterday. And Matt told me that with our partner contract with Microsoft, that I'm not allowed to be disparaging.
I was just going to say, does Matthew know that what's coming?
So he doesn't know what's coming.
All right.
It's just I sent him the link that I found. So what I'm going to say here is 100% true. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I didn't make this up. It's real. All right. Microsoft, the same company that's pushing AI into everything, just had its own terms of service go viral for saying Copilot is for entertainment purposes only. They're putting AI into Word, Excel, all over Windows. Like, it's everywhere in Windows. Buried in the official terms of service, it says Copilot can make mistakes. It might not work as intended, and you should not rely on it for important advice. In fact, they literally say, use it at your own risk.
Is his heart broken?
Well, yeah. Matt loves Copilot. He loves Copilot. I mean, not as much as ChatGPT, but he loves Copilot.
I think he does like his Copilot.
He does. Like, we do a Teams meeting, and he asks, like, oh, do you want me to throw a Copilot bot in there that'll jot everything down? I'm like, no, I do not. Because I don't always want to remember everything that I say in a meeting.
Well, entertainment purposes.
Microsoft didn't come out and say, yeah, it's just for fun. They actually said this is legacy language left over from when Copilot was basically a Bing chatbot or Clippy.
I'm sure it said the last time their thing was updated.
And they do plan on updating it. I can't imagine the amount of work they have to go through with lawyers. That's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would not be something you
make,
just go change.
To make a one small document change has to be the biggest pain because it's got to go through a lawyer panel and everything else. And because Microsoft's obviously a very wealthy company, so the litigation target they have on them is huge. People would sue them for anything. I mean, the EU sues Microsoft when they run out of money.
But how long have they been calling it Copilot?
I don't know. Seems relatively new, but I have no idea. I don't know. When did Bing chatbot go away?
That's what I'm like. I feel like someone had to have updated it at some point.
So internally, they're talking, probably this doesn't reflect how people use it anymore. But externally, like, this is what the doc says. So this is what the legal says. So, the fact that they're putting it into Word and Excel and all those things to help, they recognize that people are doing that anyways. And so internally, they're pushing it into all the products as a real thing, but the licensing just hasn't caught up with the technology. Because you got one side where Microsoft is marketing Copilot as the future of work, your AI assistant and productivity multiplier, but the other side, legally, they're saying, just don't trust it to do anything for you.
It's here for you, but hey.
And then let's be fair, though. If we're going to talk about, if we're going to make fun of Microsoft, let's make fun of everyone else because that's just fair. Every major AI company has basically the same statement. Not so much the entertainment purposes, but they basically have the fact where it's like, don't trust us. We make mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, at the bottom of before you do a search in like ChatGPT, it says that you will need to verify the facts or I can't remember what the statement says.
Yeah. We have to remember that in all things, AI isn't authoritative, right? Like it's not a source for answers in the real world, right? Because it's been trained on stuff that's written by humans and humans are fallible, right?
Correct.
That's just the way it is. Just the fact that Microsoft stood out this way just makes it funny.
I also think you just love it because it was Microsoft.
The thing is that if I'm using AI in Excel, that's a whole lot different than being categorized the same way as Netflix. Because Netflix is entertainment purposes, and I'm using AI to help solve formulas, right?
You really like this segment of the show.
We're not saying Copilot's useless. Well, I am, but
I'm like, you don't
we're-
like Copilot.
we're not. But Microsoft's saying we're not legally responsible for it, and that's it. And that's what every AI company does. We're not responsible for whatever you find on here, whatever you do on here. Yeah, you get it.
Well, I mean, who could ever be responsible for that much content coming out?
And the thing is if you are a Windows user, Copilot is actually a very useful tool for you because of the way that it integrates into everything, right? So a lot less copy and pasting like you would do with ChatGPT or Claude or any of those. So, I mean, it's definitely useful in Windows for people that use Windows because of its tight integration. So, if you're using AI today for anything, whether it be Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, what's that one that starts with a P?
Perplexity.
Very good. The simple rule is trust it like a smart intern. Don't trust it like your doctor, your lawyer, or your accountant. All right.
That wasn't another jab at Matthew.
Well, it wasn't, but it is now.
All right.
So LinkedIn is actually spying on you. So as you know, the EU made this stupid ruling that you have to announce that you're doing cookies and allow people out of the cookies.
Yes. I thought that was going away.
Well, it is. The banners should be going away. I don't know where we are in the rulemaking process on that, but it should be going away. So, but in all reality, do you think that that's going to stop these big companies from getting your data and knowing who you are across sites?
No.
They're gonna find another way to fingerprint you, right?
Correct.
So they can jam more product on your throat.
How else are they going to market to you?
So people are calling this one BrowserGate, claiming that LinkedIn is doing something pretty aggressive behind the scenes, and actually, in my opinion, pretty creative. When you load up LinkedIn, it can scan your browser for over 6,000 different Chrome extensions. So if a Chrome extension does something to the website, like uBlock Origin, right?
Yep.
It blocks ads. You can know that uBlock Origin is installed on the browser. So you can look at all the different plugins.
Okay.
But 6,000 of them.
I mean, that's quite a bit.
So according to the investigation, LinkedIn injects hidden JavaScript into the page that checks if you have specific extensions installed, collects information like CPU, RAM, screen size, time zone, and even battery status. It builds a fingerprint. But here's the kicker. Here's where it gets really interesting. LinkedIn knows who you are. So not only are they creating a fingerprint, they're creating an exact fingerprint for you. Right?
Correct.
So they know your name. They know where you work. And now they know where you are and what sites you're looking at.
They would know your skill sets.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
Yep.
I mean, you fill out so much information on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, but most people do.
So a lot, again, I don't have a LinkedIn account because I think LinkedIn is poison.
Clearly. I mean, look at you giving out more information.
So a lot of sites, your fingerprint is basically anonymous. So they know that it's the same person going from site to site, but you're kind of anonymized. They know to advertise to you because these are the sites you look at.
Yeah.
So they can advertise to you based on that, but you yourself are anonymous until you put your credit card information in and order something. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. But not with LinkedIn. So LinkedIn's response was, just like they all do, it's about security.
Your best interest in mind.
They say the goal is to detect scraping tools, automation extensions, and bot violating their terms. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe anything that they just said. I don't believe, because any good scraping tool author evades bot detection.
Well, I don't. How could you not?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of scraping. So all of this, I don't believe. But if it was true, it would be fair. So LinkedIn is constantly fighting scraping tools like Apollo, Lucia, ZoomInfo. Those tools literally compete with their business model. So what they're saying is we're trying to keep those off the site. The report says the script isn't clearly disclosed and scans way more than just bad actor tools. We're talking grammar extensions. It's need to know if you have a grammar extension installed on your computer. Random productivity tools and even unrelated software categories. So again, the question is this actually security or is it surveillance? So let's zoom out. let's look at this maybe from a different angle, like kind of what everybody else does. So obviously this technique is like an extension of browser fingerprinting. So, but instead of using cookies, it uses your hardware, software in your environment. But unlike cookies, you can't clear them.
Correct.
So what they did was they took away a tool. The EU I'm talking about here.
Okay.
They took away a tool that allowed me to be more private, right?
Yes.
Because I can clear my cookies anytime I want, to be even more surveillance.
Well, and then even with LinkedIn, if you get like, I mean, just like how X has like the verification plan or whatever it is, they have their own, I think they call it premium.
Right.
And at that point, they will even show you who else on LinkedIn is looking at your profile.
Right. I think that's similar to Facebook, right? Your first recommended people are probably the people creeping you.
Oh, yeah. Or if you've creeped them.
Yeah, right. Which I don't do. So
you don't creep anyone.
No.
All right.
No. Never. So this is the modern web. Companies they're moving beyond cookies, and the tracking's getting more advanced and also getting harder to stop. Right?
I mean, sooner or later, it's just going to be like a free-for-all out there.
Banks and eBay have used similar techniques in the past. So what should you actually do? Well, I don't know, panic because there's nothing you can do.
So if you weren't in Chrome.
Yeah. So this mostly is an issue with Chromium-based browsers. So that'd be your Chrome, your Chromium, your Brave, your Microsoft, whatever their browser is, Edge. Microsoft Edge are the most affected because they're Chromium based, and the way that they report what plugins are installed is the way that's the kind of the thing that's being used to tell. And come on, Google probably does the same thing. Well, Google knows who you are, but they probably have it in there for a reason.
Yeah.
Unlike Firefox and those others that aren't Chromium based.
What is your recommended browser?
Sadly, I use Chrome.
Okay.
I wish I didn't, but I held off for a really long time switching to Chrome. I was using Firefox for a long time, and it was really sluggish compared to Chrome. And as I was seeing more and more people switch to Chrome, I was getting more and more like bug reports for my software in Chrome. And so I'm like,
okay,
all right, I better try this out because less people are using Firefox now and more people are using Chrome. So I better switch so I can see what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, for me, it's so easy, like going into all Google's different products from analytics to ads to merchants. I mean, just to be in it is, it's way too easy.
I agree. So the extensions themselves can reveal a lot about you, but the way your browser is set up is basically your fingerprint now. Yeah. I don't know that any other company has been found to do 6,000 extensions scanning.
Or they just haven't been caught.
Or they haven't been caught. But I mean, I guess LinkedIn is a big site. Oh, my Microsoft as well. Nothing disparaging here. It's all true. Look, they're not spying on you like in Hollywood where they're going to come to your house and steal stuff. You know, they're spying on you so they can sell your data to other companies. And that's just the end of the story. LinkedIn has to make money too.
It all comes back to data.
All comes back to data. Every bit of it comes back to data. All right. NASA, big Artemis 2 mission around the moon. Are you aware?
I am aware. Thanks for asking.
I never know where you are on the side of news.
I get my news from John.
All right. That's the best place to get it. JNN. All right. So the NASA astronauts, I think they hit the moon yesterday. Not hit it.
I was like, they didn't hit the moon.
That was a bad way to say that.
They saw the far side of the moon.
Yeah. Which, I got to say this. How does the far side of the moon have light on it?
I had to research this.
Well, tell me, because I don't know.
Only parts of it do, depending on where the rotation was with where the sun was located.
The video I saw was the entire backside of the moon, and it was lit up.
Because I was thinking the same thing.
Well, the video I saw looked like AI made it, because the whole backside of the moon was lit up. I'm not saying that the trip to space is fake. What I am saying is a lot of the pictures that are coming to us have been touched up.
So yes, and they call it the far side because it rotates, so there's not a front and the back. It's just whatever side's away from us.
So there's this movie. I can't remember the name of it now. I've watched it a couple of times because it's so ridiculous. So when the Nazis lost World War II, they launched into space, and then they live on the dark side of the moon. So they have like classrooms full of Nazi children growing up in the Nazi way on the dark side of the moon, because you can't see that from Earth. Instead of, all of them going to Argentina like they did. NASA astronauts on the way to the moon took photos of the Earth using an iPhone. I thought that was kind of cool. Not some kind of like super expensive camera. So there was one picture that came out the other day of the whole Earth or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was shot with an iPhone.
That is cool.
Yeah. I thought that was neat.
I mean, do you think that's going to be their next commercial?
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, sorry.
So it's the first time that humans have been past low Earth orbit in 50 years. And each astronaut is carrying an iPhone 17 Pro Max. Slightly modified, of course. So why would they take an iPhone? Why not something else? Well, NASA obviously recognizes that the quality of photos on an iPhone are awesome, right? Apple's taken a lot of care and time to make sure that the photos look good. I mean, there's 3 cameras on there now or whatever the hell.
Yep.
I mean, they should just make the whole back out of cameras. I don't know.
We'll wait for it.
The other reason that they took it is because it's small. It can fit in your pocket.
Oh.
So taking snapshots and stuff is really easy. And they do have other expensive camera gear that they brought, like Nikons and all that other stuff. But in reality, to do quick videos, snapshots, all that kind of thing, yeah. I don't know if they have iCloud.
You think it's sync in real time?
I bet it's not real time. No, the phones themselves don't have internet, don't have Bluetooth. But
so they took them pretty much just for the camera functionality.
Yeah, camera functionality. Probably like calculator, a few other apps or whatever. Until I read that the phones had no internet and no Bluetooth, I was really calling bullshit on the whole have to put your phone in airplane mode thing. Because if they can take them in a spaceship and nothing interferes, then I'm pretty sure the Boeing 747 is just fine. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing they're not getting phone service up there.
Now, NASA did have to fully qualify them before they took them to space, though. So they had to go through testing. Safety reviews, material analysis, microgravity testing. This isn't like just throw your phone in that you use every day in your pocket and take it to space. It doesn't work like that.
I mean, it's pretty cool that they were able to take a phone.
I listened to this podcast called Handle on the Law. You know Handle on the Law?
I do not.
Okay. So he's a lawyer, but he hasn't practiced law in forever. And he works at KFI in Southern California. And he makes fun of everybody that calls him for legal advice.
During the call or after the call?
During the call.
Okay.
I think it's like his tagline is where I tell you have no case. I don't know where I was going with that, but
I don't either.
I do. Guy called him the other day and said that his neighbor gave him some moon clay for doing work in his yard. Guy used to work at JPL, that's the Jet Propulsion Laboratories,
okay,
and gave him a piece of moon clay for doing some yard work or something for him, and said, "Don't tell anyone." And this was back in the 80s or something. And this guy like either wants to sell it or get it proofed or whatever, and they like he's too afraid he's going to get arrested. So Handel's like, statute of limitations is over. I'm like, I don't know if it's over from NASA.
It's just like a pile of dirt from out back.
So yeah, I think that what you're probably going to see is an iPhone ad with a globe with the globe on it that says "shot on an iPhone."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that has to be some sort of marketing thing as it comes.
Yeah. All right,
It'll be there.
We've covered a lot today, so yeah, I think that's what I got.
So, kind of going back to LLMs, the large language models, if a company wanted to run their own, what would they need?
Well, good. I've actually priced this the other day. So
Perfect.
So if you wanted to run your own LLM, first you need to decide what type of LLM you want to run. So what your business is, right? So because you want to download a model that's designed for what you're doing, right? So a model is like ChatGPT 5.4 coding, right? It's particularly designed for coding. So you need to decide to do that. So then you need to know the size of the LLM, because the LLM has to be loaded into VRAM, which is GPU RAM. And something like a low cost NVIDIA 3090, they go for around $1,600 a piece.
Okay.
And I think they've got 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So, and you can stack them. So you'd find a motherboard that can support maybe 2 of those. So you'd have 48 gigs of VRAM. So you have to find a model that fits in that VRAM and have a little bit of space left over, because your context window could get huge, right? And RAM's important too, because what it can't load in the VRAM, it'll try to load on the RAM.
Okay.
So if I was going to build one, it'd be 2 3090s. It would be 192 gigs of fast DDR5. I would do a single 1 terabyte for the OS disk, and then I would do like a 4 terabyte SSD for separate storage for the LLM. So you're looking at about $6,000 if I was in used parts.
Okay, so you were looking at used parts.
I was looking at used parts. New parts are so expensive. So used parts. So sourcing from eBay and some on Amazon and some from Newegg.
Okay.
Kind of sourcing products from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that RAM prices come down, because that's almost more expensive than the GPUs, and it's crazy. And storage too. I can't get over how much this stuff costs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it goes up, down, stays.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, if you, and you know, the benefits of an LLM in your own office, we can talk about that for a second, is say you're a law firm and you want to use ChatGPT to do some legal research, again, as an intern, not as an authoritative kind of surface level. So it'll tell you, if you're looking for similar case law or something like that, it can hallucinate, but it can also drill down and save you a ton of time. And then you could go and search to see if the court cases were real and what the outcomes were, right? You don't have to go searching for the court case and then read the court case.
Yep.
You'd know if it was real. So if you have an LLM in your office, nothing leaves your office. So
they're not connected to the internet.
You can connect them to the internet.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have to. So with the open source chat programs, you can use Brave Search. It's an API based. I think the cheapest plan is like $5 a month or something, and that'll actually use the internet to search, so you can get more real time results.
Okay.
But I think of it like this: if it's a law thing, and you update your LLM every time a new update comes out, and the only thing you care about is doing legal research,
yeah,
it's going to be better to not have it on the internet.
Yeah, I just figured your stuff less chances of I don't know, probably anything bad happening to you if you don't connect it to the internet.
And privacy, right? So if you're searching for something for one of your court cases, you don't want that accidentally to leak to the other side.
Correct.
Right? So that'd be a reason to not have it on the internet. But consider this: that the LLM can literally learn all of the law, all of the court cases, distill it all down, and give it to you quicker than you going and searching in the library to find the book with that court case or with the law on it. It's all just there at your fingertips.
Yep. And you can always obviously verify to make sure.
You should always verify. Yeah.
Perfect. That's all I had for you.
Well, I don't think I have any more off topics today. So,
That sounds good.
all right, we'll talk to you in the next one.